Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar of the Future Classroom Lab titled Using AI in the Classroom with Microsoft Learning Accelerators. My name is Konstantinos Andronikidis. I work for European Schoolnet, and I have the pleasure to be your host today. Before we start introducing our speakers, and for those that do not know us, European Schoolnet's mission is to inspire and support our member ministries of education, as well as schools, teachers, and relevant education stakeholders in Europe in the transformation of education processes. We do this by identifying and testing promising innovative practices, sharing evidence about their impact, and supporting the mainstreaming of teaching and learning practices aligned with 21st century standards for inclusive education. The Future Classroom Lab is an initiative of European Schoolnet and an inspirational learning environment based in Brussels that challenges visitors to rethink the role of pedagogy, technology, and design in their classrooms. Today's webinar is organized in collaboration with Microsoft, a multinational corporation that is best known for its software products. Microsoft is one of the partners of the Future Classroom Lab, and we are very happy to be joined today with experts who will introduce us to some of their innovative tools that can support educators streamline the creation, review, and analysis of assignments while gathering data and insights to support the students. Our experts today will also provide examples of how to apply these tools in the classroom and how best to create engaging and inclusive learning experiences for students while saving times of the educators in the classroom. So I welcome online Ovi Barcelo, who is modern work specialist for Microsoft Education Western Europe, and who will focus on the concept of learning accelerators and how they are designed to improve the quality of lessons with the use of artificial intelligence. Hi, Ovi. Very nice to have you with us. And I also welcome online Lynn Van Houvere, a full-time French teacher at a school in Kortrijk. I'm not going to try to pronounce the school name, who will focus on how the immersive reader works in the classroom, why she's using it, and what the benefits are of using this tool. She will also show us some examples of reading progress in class and how to use it and why is it beneficial for the teachers. After their presentation, we will have some time to address any comments or questions you might have, so feel free to share your thoughts, comments, and questions in the Q&A section of the platform that you're following us. So now, without further ado, I will let Ovi start the presentation. Ovi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Konstantinos. Hopefully you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. So thank you very much for inviting us. As Konstantinos said, I am Ovi Barcelo. I'm based in Spain, but I am working as a modern workplace solution specialist for education in Microsoft Western Europe. Microsoft Western Europe is a region covering 10 countries across Europe. And my goal here is to support the schools, universities, and regions all over my countries to better apply Microsoft technology in their classrooms. I also have a background as a teacher. I've been 15 years teacher in primary here in Spain and in Valencia, where I am from, as you can see for the background. And I'm trying to use my knowledge and my experience from the classroom to get the most out of our technology. Today, I'm going to do a brief introduction about the concept of learning accelerators and what we call learning accelerators. I also have some demo at the end of my presentation, but the real expert here and the real value is going to be provided by Lynn, which is a teacher in Belgium that she's using our learning accelerators today in the classroom. So that is the real value we would like to provide to you today. Again, I will be here also at the end of Lynn's presentation to answer any questions if you want to. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Hopefully you can see my screen, and we're going to start giving some context about what we have found in the latest years from Microsoft and from Microsoft Education concretely. Um, we all know all the challenges you educators have been facing on multiple fronts. And of course, the impact of pandemia has been huge everywhere. But we also have seen how difficult it was during that time, how was to explain concepts like language or math or reading fluency. We also learned that in the digital world, the emotional well-being is something that we need to take care also in the classroom. And behind the screens, students sometimes they have different feelings, and we need to at least try to capture those feelings and address appropriately. And we want to make education equitable. So we want to all our students, no matter where they are, no matter where their educational needs, they have same access to the education. And obviously, we need our students to get ready for the future. So that's why Microsoft is always providing the top tools, not only for the moment they are right now, but also for their future as workers. And in after that, we learn from you, from educators, how hard has been for you that time, how fast you needed to adapt, and also that the things we have learned, they are here to stay. So 77% of our educators still believe that what we learned during the pandemic in the use of remote learning and technologies is still being very useful for the classrooms. Administrators realize that, well, all that skills, all that investment on digital tools is still providing value. But also, and this is very important, we also realize how important is security, specifically in education, specifically in the whole digital world, but specifically in education, as the majority of the attacks are going towards that industry, to schools and students. It's not about the viruses anymore. It's about identity, credentials, and all those kind of problems that we can face in the digital world. But we want to take it always positively, and this is why I wanted to share with you the words for our CEO Satya, saying that by building products, features, and experiences that foster productivity and creativity, our intention is to open doors to students everywhere. So that is very important. So they need to live in this digital world that's going and growing super fast. But we want to provide them with the top tools for creativity, productivity, and to make the most out of them. And now you have the examples, and this is why we vary our presentation a little bit, because we have example of generative AI nowadays and how fast it's changing the world and how fast Microsoft is trying to adapt to that world to, again, provide our students with the top skills they will be needing for sure in their near future with generative AI. But that cannot be done without thinking in the whole digital proposal that a company like Microsoft can provide. So I also want to stop a little bit and tell you what is our whole proposal for education, not only this topic of today, which is the learning accelerators, but what do we offer? And I think this graphic represents very well. We want to accelerate learning, and that is done with these learning accelerators, hence the name, and also the insights. But I don't want to spoil Elaine's presentation, so we want to see what it really means accelerated learning with data, insights, and AI. We also want to create products that foster well-being, that support social and emotional well-being, and that is also part of the learning accelerator, something that we really are investing on. But it needs to be inclusive by design. It needs to allow everybody, nobody where special needs or needs they need to have access to the learning. And remember that the special needs or accessibility is something that can happen to us all, because we are not only talking about permanent uh, um, disabilities. We can have temporary disabilities. If I broke my hand, or if I have some surgery in my eyes that I cannot see for some, the accessibility needs to be there from the very beginning, so we can adapt super quickly to that needs. And as I said at the beginning, it needs to be secure, and that is something like that is in everything we build. Security and accessibility, sorry, is built from the beginning of any of our products. We will see how we represent that intention or that reality when talking about the base. At the base of everything is security and inclusion. Focusing now in the topic of today, the learning accelerators. Learning accelerators is a new category of learning tools, that we have included in all our, in Teams for free to all education customers. So that these tools, let's put it this way, are divided in three categories: foundational skills, reading, math, and well-being; future-ready skills, so how to speak and how to search in the internet; and also about insights. So as you see there, maybe I'm gonna try to highlight let's use this laser. Okay, so if you see these three or four, reading, math, search, and speaker, these are the learning accelerators we have created. I will pause there a little bit, but let me go to the other ones. So well-being, we created Microsoft Reflect, and it's a tool that we will see a little bit today, but it helps students to express their feelings, and the teachers to really get feedback about that. And everything will happen under Insights. We will have a specific apps where all the teachers can follow up real-time insights about how the learning is going. But specifically about learning accelerators, you see there that we have progress and coach. So for example, in this case, reading progress and reading coach, math progress, math coach, search, and speaker. What are the differences between progress and coach? Coach is the artificial intelligence ability that has our learning accelerators to work together with the student at their own pace. So the student is able to work in the reading skills, in the math skills, search skills, and speaker skills at their own pace. And artificial intelligence is helping him or her to evolve on those skills. So you will see there, if I'm reading, how can I read and have feedback and corrections and everything without the need of a teacher? How can I do the same with math, with search, with speaker? So that is the part of coach. It's an artificial intelligence coach. But also, all of them has the progress part. And the progress part is that everything that happens gets recorded for the teacher to have access to it in the insights. Meaning that the teacher will be able to see, even before the class is started, what is the level and the progress of every individual student and the results for the whole class. You will see better when Lynn explains it to you. This is what I was saying before. This is where learning accelerators fit in our proposal. Let's start from the bottom line here. So the core components in this case are our devices, as a platform, our Active Directory or Entra directory and Intune management tools, and all the security features of Defender for endpoint, for and for the device, and for identity, and for cloud, all the Defender proposal. Then the very next level is accessibility, and everything, all accessibility tools are in the basics of all the tools on top. Then we have the tools we all know. So we have our Teams, Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Whiteboard, Minecraft, Clipchamp, all those tools. And now, to make the most out of those tools, to really accelerate our learning, is where we created our learning accelerators. Okay, so again, remember the learning accelerators, and let me try to go here. Okay. The learning accelerators are this new category of learning tools that are included at no cost in all education Microsoft 365 tenants that help students and educators, students with a real-time coaching and inclusive by design. So again, students will be able to practice with all the accessibility tools they need to make it happen. And at the same time, they will receive feedback from the artificial intelligence. But for our educators, we will give two main benefits. Time saving, meaning that, okay, let's take the example of the reading coach. If a student can read in front of the computer, get corrected, and get insights, the educator doesn't need to stay with all its students, like 10 minutes with them reading all the time. Of course, we will need to keep doing that, but not every day. So we can expand our reach and save time with these tools. And at the same time, they will receive all the insights and actionable insights where they can easily see, okay, this is the level of my students, this is the progress of my students, these are the challenging words. Well, you will see it from the demo. Again, remember that we divided those in two levels. Progress, where educators can assign, review, analyze the assignments, and coaches, that are the tools that individualize the practice experiences and provides real-time coaching. The skills that we are coaching, that we are improving with these tools are reading fluency, numeracy, well-being, information literacy, and presentation skills with our coach. And we're going to leave, and I'm going to stop there. We're going to leave some resources behind so you can watch, learn, and understand better what are the learning accelerators. So you will have all these resources after that. And then before leaving the floor, I'm going to change a little bit topics. It's also a learning accelerator per se. It's not inside of that categories, but it's something that can help accelerate learning. I'm going to talk about Bing Chat Enterprise, but we recently rebranded. So let's put it the right name. We're going to talk about Copilot in Edge and in Bing. We have this concept of Copilot that is actually a Copilot that sits next to you and help you in the task. But I want to present today in focus and have a little demo on the Copilot you can use today with Microsoft. So this Copilot is available at no additional cost. You can get Copilot in every device, in every school. We're having A3 or A5 licenses. It's very important that everything that happens in this Copilot is protected and will not leave the organization. We are not even having eyes on that because we don't want to learn from your data. We don't train our models with your data. That is okay, and you have it already, so it's instantly deployable. So now, if you're in an organization and you log in Edge with your Microsoft credentials, then you will have your Copilot ready. And what is that Copilot? I mean, what is that is so powerful like it looks, but also respect your privacy and you respect the data. So we all have used ChatGPT or Bing Chat, right? So it's it's a generative AI that is available for everyone, that you can put your own prompts, okay, and you get answer to it. But we realize that those public models are learning from you. So if you're a teacher and you're putting there, okay, my student is having dyslexia, I want to create a blah, 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 and you're providing information, we don't want teachers to not feel confident that the information won't leave their organization. So that's why we have created and added Copilot to all your Microsoft 365 licenses. So long story short, if you want to start using, and I like this arrow here in the direction of the AI adoption. If you want to start testing what is generative AI, you go to Bing Chat with your personal credentials, and you can use there and look for create this itinerary for my vacations, or ask any questions, and the generative AI will help you. But if you want to do that in your work with commercial data protection, watching that will never learn from you, and your data will be protected, you can start using Bing Chat Enterprise, now called Copilot. We will introduce in the future for education Microsoft 365 Copilot that will be included in all the apps in your PowerPoint, in your work. But we will talk about that later whenever we have available for you. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop my presentation right now, and I'm gonna super quickly share what is now still called Bing Chat Enterprise, but we will be calling Copilot soon. So the first thing you see is the chat. It's like a GPT or Bing Chat. You can chat with different levels of creativity, balance, or preciseness. And here I see that I have my Edu account. My data is protected. So everything I put here will be completely protected. Today, I wanted to present one thing that you have already available for everyone, that are the prompts for education. If you go to GitHub and you put Microsoft prompts for education, you will find this GitHub webpage where you can find prompts that are ready to use. So for example, we have different personas: students, staff, administration, educators. So you have here educators, and there's prompts for lesson planner, for interactive lecture, for explainer. So let's do super quick, an interactive lecture. So you have here the prompt. The only thing you need to do is copy the prompt, go to Bing Chat Enterprise, and without any fear of your data will be leaving your organization, you can paste it here and start chatting with Bing Chat. Just with that, and if you want to change the language, remember, you can tell Bing Chat, hey, can you speak in me in Spanish? Can you speak in French? Can you speak in Dutch? And automatically, Bing Chat will tell you in that language. In this thing, I just paste it and say, okay, let's start with the first question. What topic do you want to teach? I want to teach about cycle of water and to my first grade primary students. Now, just with that, it's going to give me, say, a very interesting topic. Okay. The next question is, any key text or researchers to cover this topic? If yes, provide me with their names or titles that will help me to incorporate their ideas into the code. No. There is no one. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to say, okay, if there's any experts, okay. You can still create the third question. What do your student already know about the topic? Nothing. They are new. Okay, with this information, I think that Bing Copilot is ready. What do you know about your students to may help to customize the lecture? For instance, something they come up in previous lecture, topic covered previously. It will help me. Okay. What do you know about your students that may help? Okay. They are very curious and love reading. For example, I don't know, just improvising here. That was the last question, and you see that with a regular conversation, like I could have with a real person. Now, Bing Chat is creating a lecture for my students with their different personalities or different skills to the topic I want to create with the level I want to use. And here we go. Then you have a really good, in this case, lesson plan where I have everything detailed and I can just copy, paste it in my Word. Remember, when you copy something, you will get also all the references that Bing is using for getting the information, and your data is protected and it will never leave the organization. Okay, I hope that you find it interesting. And now I want to give the floor to Lynn, which she will explain the beauties of learning accelerators in the classroom. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ovi. Hi, I'm Lynn, and today I will talk about how to use these learning accelerators in the classroom. Okay, there's my slide. Okay. I'll focus today on actually three accelerators, the immersive reader, the reading coach, and reading progress. And as Ovi said, learning accelerators, they are seamlessly integrated into products we already know, like Microsoft Teams, OneNote, PowerPoint, Word, and so on. And these accelerators, they help build skills. Ovi mentioned it. They are products that help support and streamline creation, assessment, and most of all, analysis of student progress. You can have access to data and to insights for example, individual students, but also for a classroom or for multiple classrooms, even for entire schools. The good thing is that it is available. Education Insights Premium is included in every 365 education plan. So everything I am going to show you is available for you today. I'll zoom into the immersive reader and the reading progress, and I'll tell you how to use them, why you should introduce them after today in your classrooms, and I'll also highlight the benefits of using them. And I'll start with the immersive reader. Originally, the immersive reader was designed to meet the needs of readers with dyslexia and dysgraphia. However, anyone who wants to make reading on their device easier can benefit from this tool. Immersive Reader is available in Microsoft Edge, and what does it do? Well, it simplifies web page layouts. For example, it removes distractions like advertising, pictures, links to other websites. It removes clutter, and it helps you customize your reading experience within the browser. There are also many amazing learning and accessibility tools that can help improve reading comprehension and enhance learning. And those are two elements that are very important for me as a teacher. Where is the immersive reader? Well, hey, the immersive reader is everywhere. You can have them in Word, you can have them in Excel, in PowerPoint, Outlook, Forms, OneNote, Teams. I'll show you where the immersive reader is in Edge. In the URL bar on top of a tab in Edge, you can see the icon of the immersive reader. I enlarged it here. Once you opened the immersive reader, you have an additional taskbar, with several possibilities. So I took the screenshots here in my presentation from my own browser. Obviously, my browser was in Dutch, as I'm a teacher in Belgium, but I don't think that will be a problem. I'll accompany in English. So there are several features in this taskbar, and to read out loud is a simple but powerful tool that reads the text of a web page audibly. So to begin, you should select the button of Read Out Loud. A ribbon toolbar appears at the top of the page after you started it. And then you can easily see that the browser will always indicate that you entered this reading mode. So now you can see the words in Dutch, but it says that you entered reading mode in Edge. To enter this mode, you obviously click on the taskbar, but you can also use the shortcut F9 to enter the reading mode. The toolbar includes buttons, obviously, to play audio, to skip from the previous to the next paragraph, and you can adjust voice options. Voice options allow you to change the reader's voice and to slow down or speed up their reading pace. Online, you can choose a lot of different voices for each language. Now you can see a list. Obviously, the languages are in Dutch, but you can see there are a lot of choices if your students would like a female to read the text, or maybe they would like a male to read the text out loud. You can change that to your own preferences. To stop listening, you select the pause button or the X to close the read out loud. The second option in the immersive reader in Edge are the text preferences. So you can choose from a wide variety of text and color options, such as text size, text spacing. For example, to make the text larger or smaller, you can move the slider. That's really easy. Text spacing. What does it do? Well, it increases spacing between lines of text and even between words. So you need to toggle on this, this item here. And this is a feature that is very, very useful for readers with dyslexia. You really cannot underestimate this feature. For me as a language teacher, it's nice to have it there, but I don't really use it. I don't need it as I am a language teacher, but a lot of students do have dyslexia, and this is, for them, it is a life changer. You can change the font, obviously, of the text, and you can also adjust the style of the column. You can change it to narrow, medium, or large. You can, the white, how wide do you want your text to be? Well, you can adjust it. This is also very useful for dyslexic readers. I didn't know that. I had to learn it. I took a class on the Microsoft Learn platform that is specifically designed for people to understand how dyslexia works. And I didn't know that this was important. So it's available in the immersive reader. Teach it to your dyslexic students. You can also use page themes, and they are used to enhance your experience in the browser. You can choose from a variety of page themes and color options, and you can actually also choose themes that are inspired by Ireland spectral filters. This is specifically for people with Ireland syndrome. What's this? Well, it's a light-based visual processing disorder. It can help them choose a background on which they can more easily read the text. The third option in the taskbar of the immersive reader are the reading preferences. And the reading preferences, you can turn it on. You can turn tools on, like, for example, the line focus. You can focus on one line or 3 lines, like here in my slide. And the line focus narrows the focus of your reading. When just a portion of a big text is highlighted, content is a lot easier to read and to comprehend. And in my case, my students are very disappointed to see they have to read a text that is, for example, 2 pages long. When they use the focus, they do not focus on the length of the text, but on the text itself. Actually, this feature is one of the main reasons that I started using the immersive reader, but I'll explain that later. There's another option, actually, to translate. Yes, and you can translate the entire page into almost 100 languages. Name it, and you can translate it. To exit the immersive reader, you can click the same icon in the URL bar, or you can click the X. I would like to add 2 more possibilities in this immersive reader, but those possibilities are currently only available in OneNote, so I'll change programs and I'll show you what is also possible in the immersive reader in OneNote. In addition to the text preferences are the grammar tools. And I'm a language teacher. I like grammar tools. Grammar tools, they help improve reading comprehension. For example, by splitting words into syllables. So if you toggle on the syllables, it will divide words by showing small dots between syllables. This is an important feature for people who study foreign languages. You can also highlight nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. So you can choose the color you want your adverb to be highlighted, and you can even show labels of the word types. So you can even toggle on this label here, and it will show you what kind of word, what type of word it is. This is very helpful for students. It helps their understanding of a language a lot better, and especially for students who learn a foreign language, the recognition of the type of words is easier if they can toggle this on. Another feature that's available in OneNote and is not currently in Edge, that's the picture dictionary. A picture dictionary shows a visual representation of a word. So I can click on any single word and I can see an illustration that is related to the meaning. I do have to say, not every word does have a picture, and sometimes the image isn't always clear. But most of the time, this is a big help. I teach my students because I don't like them to translate immediately into another language. If you can see a visual of what the word means, this is also learning. And it's a lot more inclusive, immersive than translating the word. You can also translate in OneNote. And in OneNote, you can also choose to translate by words. You can see another learning accelerator popping up in OneNote, as you can see here. This is a reading coach. I'll catch up on that one later. I'll show you within Teams. And now I would like to show a little video that I made in my own classroom to show you how it works with my students. We use this immersive reader on a weekly basis. It's available in our OneNote class book. So this immersive reader is there where we study. We don't use a publisher's book for French. I'm a French teacher. I wrote my own course, and the immersive reader is accessible in their course. Students can always access the immersive reader within their course at any given time. So we do this a lot in the classroom, so they know how to use it at home, because that's where they need it. When they study their course, they should be able to listen to the text that are in course. It's one of the most inclusive features in the Microsoft environment, if you ask me. And it's the main reason I started working with OneNote in the first place. The fact that students can access it anytime, almost anywhere, is amazing. So needless to say that there are a lot of benefits to the immersive reader and why you should start using it as a teacher. The benefits for the teacher are almost the same as for the students, because everyone reads at their own pace. Ovi already mentioned it. You can read at your own pace with your own preferences to get a better understanding of the text. And a scientific study proves that students who are using this reading software as the immersive reader, they have a better understanding, a better reading comprehension of the text, up to 11%. So this means they understand the text better if it is read out loud while they are reading it. Well, I told you I'm a language teacher. I teach French. My students, they don't like French. They prefer English, obviously. So I'm glad with the 11%. I'll take it. I also tell my students that I use the immersive reader as well. I don't need it as a teacher for the reading out loud part. I don't need the grammar tools, but I do tell them that I use this line focus. When I had a tough day and I need to read a text or a long email, this line focus helps me to get my focus really easily in the text. It helps me focus. And the fact that I am admitting to my students that I use this, it inspires them to use the immersive reader. Okay, the second tools that I would like to introduce are the Reading Coach and the Reading Progress. And they are learning accelerators, as Ovi mentioned. The Reading Coach is available in OneNote and in Teams. And I'll start by showing in OneNote. So as you can see here, I enter the text and you have the Reading Coach here available. I need to toggle it on, obviously. And when I toggled it on, you can see that the play button changed into a microphone button. If you press the button, a little countdown will start. So 3, 2, 1, the student has to start reading this text out loud. The student has to do the work himself. And then immediately after he read the text, they get a reading fluency report. And when I say immediately, I do really mean immediately. I can see after I read the text how accurate I read the text, how many time I spent reading it, how many words I mispronounced, and how many words I pronounced in a minute. And I also get 5 words I need to practice. And this is where the Reading Coach comes in handy. So the Reading Coach will help me through the process. I press the button, and then he figured out that these 5 words were difficult for me. Maybe I mispronounced them, maybe I had the intonation wrong, maybe I didn't pronounce them well or fully. So the Reading Coach will explain me what to do next. And you really should try it at home because it starts to talk to me out loud. Students don't need help to use this. This is very, very inclusive. For example, the word preferences, I have to select it. And when I selected it, I can do 3 things. First, I can listen to the right pronunciation of the word. So the icon on the left here will show me how do I pronounce this word. The icon in the middle will stretch the word so I can have a better understanding. How do I pronounce it? Where is the intonation on the word? And the third one is available with some words and is the picture dictionary. So I can look up, okay, preferences, what does this mean? So I can better understand the word. Okay. So Reading progress and a reading coach are also available in Teams. And this has been a massive change for me as a foreign language teacher, and I'll explain to you. So when I am in the Teams environment, I can make a new assignment, and I can choose for the learning accelerators just beneath the instructions. I have the possibility to choose the reading progress. When I did that, I can see there are two possibilities. I can search a library that is available, so you can see it here. Now the text is available in English. Soon there will come different libraries also, I guess. But what is very interesting for me as a teacher is that I can import documents on my own. I can import a Word document, a PDF from my own OneDrive, from my own team book, from my class notebook, or even from my computer. So what I do is I can easily import the text, the stories that we read in my course of French. I can use it two ways. I can make it read them before they come to class. So I can use it as a pre-teaching, for example, so they have a better understanding of the text, of the topic that is coming into the class. But I also make them read it after we handle the topic, so they can really train their pronunciation, their tone, and so on. You can see this assignment really looks just like another. I can add a rubric, etc. When the students click it, you see this slide coming up, this visual coming up. They click start, and they have to read the text out loud. Students hand in or they deliver this assignment, and afterwards, this is what I get. This is where artificial intelligence does an amazing job. This is an example of a student who read the text out loud and AI has corrected. In this case, it's a her. So this artificial intelligence is showing me which words did she pronounce, which words did she didn't read, which words did she repeat it and she didn't have to do it. Yeah? This is what accuracy looks like. But I can also check the expression of the text. For example, this student, she reads very monotonously. She pauses where she shouldn't pause. AI will also indicate if the punctuation is read correctly. This is mainly done by AI, but as a teacher, I can also adapt. I can adjust. I can say, okay, but this is not entirely correct. I'll also correct something. So I can do adjustments as a teacher as well. I can see individual progress of one student. So I click the name of the student here in Teams, and I can see that this student has an average words of 65 in a text. She reads accurate for about 65%. These are the words that were challenging for this student. Yeah? I can even make a new assignment for this particular student with the words that were challenging for her. Now, these words, if I make an assignment, these words are just words, but I am convinced that very soon generative AI will put those challenging words into a context for me. I can do this for one student. I can do this for the entire classroom. And this is very individual. As a teacher, for me, it's not possible to do this. I can also get an overview of the whole class. What's the accuracy of this class, for example? Did they do well? How well do they do in time? During multiple reading exercises, how do they evolve? Again, this is data that comes within the Insights button in Teams that me, as a regular teacher, I cannot access. It gives me a real good insight on how my students are performing. So definitely we're talking about skills. So with the reading coach, students have more reading coach, reading progress. Students have a lot more opportunities to practice reading and guide their own learning with guidance through pronunciation, syllabification, reading speed, vocabulary recall. Actually, we're talking about independent practice, and it allows them to practice when I am not there without help nearby. Ovi already told, yeah, you get real-time coaching as a student. They have the option to practice the words they struggled with. The 5 words that student A gets aren't the same words that student B gets because it is individually AI generated this. They get feedback so they can do better in class next time. It's a very inclusive design. It's an inclusive tool because students, they can practice where they like, when they like, and I can tell you it helps them build confidence. After half a year of practicing the texts that appear in my French course with reading progress, my students, they do get better. They build confidence. Actually, they dare to speak more French during my lessons. Their pronunciation improves. It does help them a lot. It saves time, obviously. I cannot do this. I cannot make them practice on my own. I cannot do it with this intensity in my classroom. I don't have the time to grade this in addition to everything else. I do have other skills, grammar that I need to test. And this is where the AI comes in very handy. It's not a big job to make them do this and have AI grade them for it. AI is doing a lot of my job. The insights are priceless. Yeah, I see them twice a week for about 15 minutes. I can never get this much insights. It helps me track track my students, spotlight data points. Insights give me visualizations informed on their activity, of their growth. It saves me time anywhere. And I told you about 2 learning accelerators. I haven't even told you about Reflect. Reflect encourages encourage students to think about their emotions. We use it every time at the beginning of the lesson. I have the same question over and over again at the beginning of the lesson. How are you? I haven't even talked about the Search Coach. That's a learning tool that helps them grow in digital literacy. In addition, at the Search Coach, we have the Search Progress. The Search Progress monitors for me how my students search and how I can help them make better online searches. So it actually sometimes it's an opener, it's a start to a discussion in the class. Yeah, needless to say that these learning accelerators make winners of every one of us. We all benefit from them, me as a teacher, but also they as a student. It is not a test, but we do have to start somewhere. So I would like to know if you are ready to start with these learning accelerators. I would say ready, set, go. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Lynn, for this very interesting presentation of the tools that you're using in your classroom. I was really amazed by also how descriptive you were and how many insights you gave. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. I don't know if Ovi is with us still. Yes.
Yes, of course.
So I think we definitely have to do another webinar to touch upon the other learning accelerators that we haven't discussed today, because I mean, we all know that these tools are there. I knew that the immersive reader was there. I never knew that you can do so many things about it with it, actually, and the other tools. I mean, I didn't know about the learning progress. Very, very nice to learn about this. So perhaps a question, something that both Ovi and Yulin mentioned about artificial intelligence in education, and this is a buzzword more and more today. So you mentioned that AI does a lot of my work today, but then I want to ask Yulin, how do you see your role changing, perhaps, with the introduction of such tools as a teacher? And then I will ask Ovi also how Microsoft perhaps sees these tools supporting educators, and what is the vision of Microsoft for providing such tools to education in general. So Lynn, if you have
it doesn't really change my role as an educator, but it does help me a lot because I told you my students really don't like French. They like English a lot better. As they don't like something, they're not good at practicing. And I see them 2 times 50 minutes a week. I have a lot of content to work on with them. I cannot make them read out loud these texts, these stories, one-on-one, and then correct them and give them insights on, oh no, you did this wrong, or this you should do better. So I started using these technologies in addition to my class, and it made me realize that some of the parts come better. So does it change my role? No, but it just it makes it easier to add things to it, to make them better at pronunciation, which is difficult to do in a classroom with 23 to 25 students. They don't like to speak in French. They are afraid to make language mistakes. And now they don't have to be afraid because they can do it at home in a safe space where no one bothers them. And only this AI and only I as a teacher can say, okay, you did well, or maybe this or this you can do better. But really, it helps build them confidence. If they see, okay, I did get 65%, I did get 70% on accuracy, it makes them confident. I promise.
That's great to hear, and it's very kind of empowering also to hear the fact that you don't see your role necessarily changing or being kind of diminished or losing the importance, but rather adding to it and giving you more tools to support your students.
Exactly.
Ovi, I don't know, from Microsoft perspective, what is your vision? Why are you supporting this kind of process?
I think Lynn summed it up very well. There are certain skills that require teachers, and that's why teachers will always be necessary. I mean, like language, as we have an example. What we try to do with this is help the teachers to take the most out of their time by helping them getting more insights of their student progress. Lynn has 22 students, 50 minutes every week. It is impossible for her, even trying so hard, to listen to them individually every single day, because there's content, there's exercise, there's a lot of stuff. So now, for the first time, thanks to the technology, she's able to, with confidence, say, okay, this is the progress, this is how we're doing, and now I can focus on improving certain aspects because they have been doing that for this period of time. And that is what we want. We want technology to provide something that without technology will be impossible. And that is the difference. It's not for the sake of putting technology in the classroom, because they have technology every single day. If to put technology in the classroom, that really makes a difference in their learning. And I think the example that Lynn's given is perfectly fits on that idea. So we're really, really glad that the intention of our technology gets real with teachers like Lynn. So Lynn, thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much for this. It's really, yes, it's really great to hear that, and that we're not talking about technology replacing teachers, but rather than supporting them and empowering them to be better and support better their students. There's a question in the chat about whether there are any publications available about the process and results of these in implementing them in schools. So I guess this goes to Ovi from Microsoft perspective, if you have any insights on that.
We have published, and you can look in the internet, a white paper that is called the Class of the 2030, where we're analyzing, after talking with students, mainly teachers, and seeing their results, how the skills are being improved by the usage of the right use of technology. So it's a nice reading. It's free. You can locate it on the internet. The Class of the 2030, and even though it's not a result with it's not a white paper with numbers and really thorough results, it gives a good overview of what does it mean for that what that will mean for students whenever they go to the real life on the 2030. So I think it's a good reading that could provide good insights about these tools and their effects on our students.
Thanks. And I guess every teacher also sees a different value based on their practice as well and how they use it. So definitely. So thank you both. We have reached the end of today's webinar. That was a very, very interesting and insightful presentation of the tools. And as mentioned, we will be very happy to have you back for a second episode on the Learning Accelerators. So I thank also the audience for following us today. The recording will be shortly available on the platforms that you are watching us. And yeah, make sure to follow us for more opportunities like this. Have a very nice evening, all of you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.